Hello and welcome to Noni, YANGA's flagship talk show where we discuss all the hot topics. Today we take a look at gender roles in the home. Have we really stepped away from the female role of women as homemakers? And what does it mean if we still conform to old-fashioned roles in the home? Joining me today, Noni favourite and social media star Esther Falana and broadcaster and radio personality Tome Badejoko. Welcome, ladies. Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Years ago, our culture had a set of expectations in the way men and women were to behave, dress and present themselves. But in some parts of the world, women and men are now closer to being equal than ever before. So have women stepped away from the classic gender roles in the home of cook, cleaner and homemaker? And what are the challenges surrounding assumed gender positions? Let me speak to you, Tommy, my wife here on the set. Did you ask permission today from your husband to be here?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't. I didn't. But I know what they're talking about when it comes to gender roles. And I think we have moved away from that. Technology, globalization, social media, internet has changed a lot of things. And fast forward or backwards, let's rewind backwards to 20 years ago. This was like a big deal. They see you once you finish school, like back home, even in Africa, or let me just talk for Nigeria where I'm from. But once you finish school, university, it's like, oh, so they're not even asking about your job or your job hunting.
Who is your husband?
So when is it coming?
Yeah.
You know, that's like your aunties are coming to visit you and that's the only discussion they have with you. And then you just be thinking there's more to life than this. This is just a 21-year-old girl finishing from university, has many years to work, you know, work, have fun and just want to push her into marriage. But now, you know, women they have a voice now. People are coming out. So you can be 25, you can be 30 and be single and still be loving it, you know.
And being African. Esther, you know, you've had a little bit of backlash before about the way you say you would look after your man or the way you think girls should be in relationships. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've had backlash because I do feel like, you know, I think I'm a bit more modern, but then I still do hold traditional values in the sense that, you know, as a wife, you should do the wifely duties in the home. But at the same time, I do believe as women, we should have our own, like, i.e. businesses. We shouldn't be under men anymore. Like, I feel like the generation has changed. As you so rightly said, we've got social media, we've got so many other platforms that are promoting women independence and promoting women to be, you know, doing right for themselves before any man. So for me, I guess, you know, people that have got traditional views believe that no, like as a man is still the head. And I'm not disputing that he's not the head, but at the same time, I can also do what I need to do as a woman and have my own. Do you know what I mean? And that's what
I think a lot of people will agree with you, Esther. You know, Tommy, how do you think the modern Nigerian African black woman in general, you know, is, you know, managing to keep a job, you know, they've got kids, you know, they want to keep their husband happy, you know, washing the plates. Is it the man that's doing it? Is it the woman? Do you think people care?
Oh, yes, they care. Okay. Like, traditionally, they care. So I think it's changed a bit for maybe our generation. So let me say maybe generations that are like maybe from age 20 upwards now, things have changed. Yeah. But maybe it's better if you're living in the Western world. But if you still live back in Africa, you still have those values. So for example, if you're in the UK, we respect you as the head, but I'm not just gonna wash the dishes and just clean and do everything. I think it's more like, it's a partnership, you know, let's help each other. Nobody's anybody's slave. If we're back home, we have a nanny, you have a cook, you can get all of that under 200 pounds. I feel like a queen, you know, get a driver, you know, but here you have to be the driver, you have to be the cook, you have to be the nanny, you have to be the cleaner. So it's just
it's too much.
It's a lot.
It's too much. I've got a stat here, Esther. It says 1 in 5 men admit to doing nothing at all around the home. Are these the kind of guys we know?
No, not the kind of guys I know. No, I believe that the men, even men have changed in the sense that men are being raised by their mothers to be, you know, to know how to cook for themselves. A lot of single homes, exactly. They're like my mum raising my brothers always says, do not allow a woman to slap you around. Know how to cook, know how to clean, know how to fend for yourself. Don't rely on any woman. If she hasn't, if your wife comes home today and she might be tired, volunteer and cook. Do you understand? A home is supposed to be your
equal,
and not even that, it's meant to be your sanctuary. Exactly. You don't want problems in your home, so to reduce those problems, help out. Don't be lazy. That's what and I feel like unfortunately, I don't mean to throw this out there. I feel like a lot of traditional old school men are lazy.
Yes,
that's the fact.
they
just
lazy.
believe because they go out and they go and make money, that's enough. But it's
Are
not
they
enough.
even making money?
Yeah,
let's
it's not.
let's be honest.
The problem, actually, sorry, Esther, you just said that old school men are lazy, and I really take it that. But I think the problem starts from the home. I think it's the mothers. To be honest, like if they raise men back then and tell them, it's cool for you to cook. It's cool
never
for
come
you
into
to
the kitchen.
help with the baby. It's cool for you not to just sit down and just press the remote control and just act like you're king. So everything starts from the home.
I agree
But
with
know, back then, obviously, the moms then were very traditional. So they make you, all the girls in the house will cook, and all the boys would just come up, eat, and maybe just help out to drive or do some field cleaning. So I think it needs to start from the home. Every woman that has a son now we have to change it. We need to say, oh, you need to cook. What if you're in the uni before you get married? Aren't you going to cook?
That's what my mum's,
Aren't you going to eat?
Yeah.
Do you want to be wasting money to buy food outside every time? And to be honest, who says you can't clean in the house? You live in the house, wash the bathroom. You know, I just think it should be a partnership. Everybody, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. So I might be good with cleaning. I love to clean. I'm OCD, so it's okay. But
okay, so your husband's lucky then.
So, yeah, but he loves to clean too.
Okay.
Do you understand? So he still helps out with the vacuuming. You know, he doesn't really like
Do you consider it helping out? Or is that just him cleaning?
No, just him cleaning, but still, let's call it helping out. We need to help each other. Nobody's anybody's slave. We married for love. We're partners. You're not my boss, and I'm not your boss. I know you're the head. There's some things you might have to do, but you need to help out. We live in the house.
It's really interesting. Esther, let me ask this to you. You know, I'm sure you're dating. I don't know. I don't want to presume anything. But, you know, what do you feel about guys that are like, yeah, you know, what are you going to cook for me? Or are you going to have something prepared? Is that a discussion young guys are saying to young women?
For me personally, I have a personality that's very independent. I think when someone is drawn to me, the first thing they sense is this girl's very independent. So the guys that somehow I attract are a lot more in terms of they're willing, like, I'll cook for you. Do you know what I mean? I'll take you out to dinner.
Oh, who are they?
Yeah, so I think the guys that I do attract, they want to, it's almost like, I'm not saying that they're trying to compete to my level because there's no competing, but I think they know that I'm not a sme girl, let's just say that.
Sme girl. That's a Noni exclusive.
You know what I mean? I think they know that they have to put in work. And for example, I wouldn't tolerate certain things. So I think part of what they're doing to step up is like, okay, like I don't mind cooking you dinner and you coming over and etc. So I think the guys that I generally attract are guys that are more independent, are guys that are willing to do things for themselves. But I can't speak for all men. You know?
Of course, so we agree that traditional values still exist.
Oh, it does
but some
exist.
men, the men we know, are getting better.
I've got some male friends that say, you're going to cook for me. I look at them, you're mad, you will starve. You know what I mean?
They will surely starve.
Yeah.
Anyway, still to come, we ask, is there such a thing as a part-time feminist? And we look at the pressures on being the stay-at-home mum versus the career woman. See you after the break. Welcome back. Now, before the break, we were looking at gender roles in the home, but now we ask, can we be part-time feminists? There was this thing I was reading recently from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I love her, really successful Nigerian author. And I read one of her, memos, and she did say that you're either in or out. You know, if you're a feminist, you believe that, yes, women should have equal pay. And I'm like, yes, tick. Young girls shouldn't just be told to wear pink, tick. Yeah. But you cannot also believe that men should, take out the rubbish or be the head of the home. And I was like, not tick. And I kind of feel like these days, you've got to be all in it as a feminist. Do you agree with that?
I disagree completely. I believe that you can have your beliefs in certain areas,
like where women should be
where
equal.
Women, exactly. But then you can also have the belief that as a man, this is a man's role. He should still do those things.
Like what?
So, for example, I believe that financially, a man should be able to fend in his home. Yeah. And because the reason, and I believe that's just my personal value and my personal belief, because the way I've been raised as a Nigerian young girl is that you don't want, men want to be treated equal and they want to be treated like the head of the house.
Yes.
Part of being the head of the house is financially being able to provide for your family.
Yeah.
Being able to provide a roof over their head. And so for me, part of that is being able to provide money.
So I'm coming to you in a minute, Tommy, but let me just ask Esther that, you know, you're successful. I can imagine in 10 years' time, you know, you could be running a place like this. You know, you might meet a guy who, you know, you really love's got a good career, but it's just not earning as much as you.
See, earning money, we don't have to earn the same amount of money.
Okay.
I will still,
you can be the breadwinner.
Yeah, I can still be I can earn more money than you, but I will never devalue you or speak to you any little or belittle you because I earn more money than you.
Okay.
For me, it's about your attitude. You know, there's certain people out there who are lazy and don't have any ambition.
Okay.
As a man, if you are ambitious, and though I may not be earning as much as my wife, but I'm still, you know, I work hard.
I'm still hustling. I'm getting up in the
I'm still working hard.
Okay.
There's some men that are just lazy. You know what I mean? I can't stand that
we
one.
said that before the break.
I can't stand that one.
But Tommy, what's your thoughts on feminism? And do you think that sometimes feminism, you know, feminists can backlash against women that like to be traditional?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll support what Esther said about, you know, yes, it's okay for you to be a feminist in some aspects that obviously like reality. So for example, we're all working here now. You know, we all went to school. We all went to the same school. We all paid the same school fees. They didn't tell me that girls should pay 50K and guys should pay 70K. So we all got the same education. So this is intellectual. I think when it comes to, you know, things that are intellectual, we all got, you know, we're all raised, we went to school together, we all graduated, and it's about your skills. It's okay to be like, why should they pay you more than why?
Okay. Yeah.
Because we all went to the same school. Like I might even get more skills than you.
So that type of feminism you agree with?
Partial
gender
feminist.
pay equality.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with it because, you know, there's nothing man or woman about it.
What parts do you not agree with?
Okay, the part I don't agree with is, you saying when you have to go all extreme, you shouldn't expect men to maybe
open the door for you. Some women are
said.
Offended if a guy's like, you know, let me take that door.
True.
It's not kind of like,
I think that was a bit
like,
too much.
Stop it.
That was a bit too much for me when Chimananda, said that, because I think it's okay for you to be a lady sometimes. And don't forget that men are naturally muscular than us. So when it comes to physical attributes, so my car broke down. I don't think there's anything wrong. Me calling my husband like, babe, my tires, you know, or something. Can you help me fix it?
He wasn't crying, was you?
I don't want to like lie down with this beautiful dress and start putting my legs up just and under the car. That's a place for a man. There's a place for a man.
Yeah, there is a place for everybody in society. Esther, do you think then that we shouldn't be criticised for, you know, asking for male help, or you know, getting an app, somebody to come and fix the shelves because we don't want to?
See, I'm not gonna lie, I will fix my car myself. I'll fix the shelf myself.
Hey, Esther!
The way I've been raised,
she can do it all.
So I'm not gonna lie. I was raised by my mum. You know, she raised me. She was a single parent of 4 kids. So at the end of the day, the independence that's been installed in me is high. Sometimes she's a bit worried that the way you are, Esther. Like I hope you please. So what husband's gonna marry you? Do you know what I mean? So I personally believe that yes, there are good. It is sometimes good to draw men in, but I feel like we should also be able to acquire the skills, no matter how, you know, manly or you know they are. Like I know how to fix my car, you know what I mean? I can change the tire.
Hey,
you know
Esther,
what I mean?
I know when to call you. Let me quickly ask you, Tommy, before we move on. You're a mother, you have a boy and a girl. Do you teach them about feminism and how do they compare? It's like children.
So the thing is that I don't really teach them about feminism. I haven't said that. I still try and I concentrate more on my son now, because I know, raised, you know, from an African home, pressure is more on the woman. Okay. So any little thing you're doing, like, don't you know you're a woman? Is that what you're doing in your husband's house? You know, you get all that every time, and you're just thinking, okay, what happens to the man that is going to be in the house? It takes two to make the home work. You know, it's not just going to be me. So now I tell my son, like, maybe I'm like, it's okay. So maybe you don't hit your sister, you don't touch a woman. Never. You might be like the little. My husband I'm like, yeah, not the little, but you know what?
You've got to
let's start it now. I don't want you calling me and your wife is saying so you start, you know. So I'm like, you need to help mommy in the kitchen. You need to, you know, and he's gladly, because he doesn't know any other thing. This is what he knows, and that's what he's going to grow with.
And it's coming from a really good mother. Now, women are often told they can have it all, but nobody ever said that would be easy. For many women at work, there's a huge amount of pressure to get back straight into work once you've had the kids, for fear that your colleagues will be promoted ahead of you and you'll be left behind. But is there a solution to this pressure? How can we rid ourselves of the guilt of being a stay-at-home mum and putting the career on hold, or leaving the kids at home to further our professions? Can women ever win? Guys, I've got 3 kids. First child back at work after a year, second 9 months, third 3 weeks. And, you know, what I just said at the beginning resonates with me so much, because it was that pressure, you know, especially in our industry where you've got to be seen. People want to see you at the event. You know, if it's not you, it's someone else. And I suppose we do put this pressure on ourselves, don't we, Esther?
Actually, it's funny enough. I actually did a show with Channel 4 about gender equality and pay rise and etc. And we found that, you know, statistics showed that, you know, women after giving birth are rushed back into work or of the fear that they could lose their job, based on the fact that, you know, they have to take time off work. And, you know, understandably, like when you have a child, even though you get a year off, that first 5 years of that child's life, it's you know, 5. You know, no, but when I say 5, you know, the youngest years, they can get sick at any time. Then, other than that 1 year that you take off, you may take more time off. And sometimes there's a risk of you losing your job. There's a risk of you being, you know, dismissed because you're not at attendance when it's not of your fault. So I feel like right now, I think women do have it hard. I think it's not fair. I think even in terms of, you know, equality in pay, you know, there are still certain companies that pay men more than women. And so I feel like there needs to, I think gradually we are getting better.
We're getting better, but there's a long way to go.
There's still a long way to go, exactly.
Tommy, how have you ever, you know, had to not go to a certain gig or, you know, refuse doing a job because of the kids?
Oh, loads of times. Obviously, both of us were in the same industry. We're both like broadcaster, and, you know, most of my own shows are even live shows. So it's like, you're not there.
Pressure.
You have to be there. So because it's a live
you
show.
can't be late.
You can't be late. You have to be there. And I've had situations whereby, you know, in the mornings, you know, they slept, nothing happened. You know, kids can just be impulsive. And the next morning, she's throwing up, and I'm thinking, I've got guests coming, have a live show. What am I going to do? You know,
Dear husband. Wakey.
What are you going to do about it? You know, then you start looking for last minute childcare. Oh, I might just have to call, like, you know what? Maybe someone should cover for me. I might not be able to go. So it's really hard on women. And I think companies, like you said, they need to really understand that we are women. We can't change the fact that we're women. We can't change the fact that we are the one that will have to make the babies. They have to know that and understand that position, that when we go make babies, we need time. A lot of women suffer postnatal depression.
This is like a therapy session for me.
It's traumatic.
It's actually traumatic.
It's very traumatic. Some women will find all their 9 months pregnancy and go to work. And you find, I have a friend that once she's pregnant, she's going to be bedridden till she has a baby. How will she get back to work? You know, and you now find out that, okay, they need to, some are contractors, I think what I want to tell women generally is that don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay to have a career and just always have a side hustle. So at that time, maybe you're home and you can really meet up your 9 to 5
but you can do buying and selling and things like that. And we've all seen people do that.
You at home and you're not feeling like you're missing something.
Yeah, let me ask you, Esther, as a single mother, do you think it's that much harder when you don't have the partner at home? And I know you are close with your child's father, but still, him not being there physically.
I think because I had the dynamics of him being there and I had it when he wasn't there, so I can really compare it. It was harder because, you know, where sometimes I'd finish work and I might be running late, or sometimes I used to stay at work late at the time, because when I used to work in social housing, I might stay late and finish off my work or audits, and I'd call him and say, can you pick her up? Do you know what I mean? And that was the, you know,
a luxury now.
So when you then become a single parent, you don't have that luxury. So it's a lot more harder, it's a lot more difficult. You know, there was times where in the morning we used to rotate, he might get her ready and drop her to nursery, or I might do it, depending on what time he starts work or what time I start work. Now it's like, there'll be times where I'm calling up work saying, I'm running late, my daughter's not well, I'm by myself, I have to sort this out before I can get into work. And sometimes employers don't show any sympathy, they don't show any understanding. Funny enough, it's so weird that we're talking about this, that I actually had to leave my last employment due to the lack of support, lack of flexibility flexibility in terms of my hours and timing. And I thought it was really, it was upsetting because it wasn't even that I couldn't
You're not
cover,
alone. You're not alone, Esther. That's why we're talking about this,
it wasn't
because
even,
it affects a lot of people.
Exactly. It wasn't even that I couldn't cover the hours, because I could cover the hours. It's just that I was requesting, for example, can I have a half an hour break, which, you know, because you're given an hour lunch, for example.
Yeah, true.
So can I have a half an hour break?
So
I
you
start
can-
at 9:30 and finish at 4:30. That gives me enough time to drop my daughter and pick her up, because I'm a single parent. That wasn't an option. They couldn't give me that.
It's awful.
very
But you know,
sad.
but that's made you who you are, because you've got more time to do TV appearances.
Exactly.
Tommy, let me ask, you know, on the flip side, do you think sometimes, especially, you know, Nigerian, African women, you know, we can like to have a hustle, like to work, you know. Do you think sometimes we can be too judgmental on women that are stay-at-home mums?
Yes.
And that just want to do that, just be with the kids. You know, you ask them out for dinner, they've always got the kids with them, and you're like rolling your eyes.
No, I think, number one, women generally are, they've got issues, especially women to women. I don't know. Maybe God is going to come down to solve that, but women have issues with women, and that's going to be forever.
Yeah.
So now taking it back home to Nigeria, you find a lot of, like, you see women, maybe I might say Esther now, maybe with her daughter, and maybe her head is a bit untidy, her hair, and I'm just thinking, instead of me to say, oh, Esther, you know, I know someone that can, you know, it's like, I'm like, oh, look at her, look at her kid, oh my God, she can't even take care of her, and she's looking all blinky, you know. Nigeria, we are very, like, judgmental. And to stay-home moms, I think, you know what, nobody should bring down stay-home mom, because when I had my kids, I had to take time off. So I was a bit of a stay-home mom for a while, but I had something I was doing on the side. But still, you know, when you stay home, I think you do more job than when you're at work. Do you know? Because when you're home, it's like, you don't have time to rest.
It really is a job.
The baby's crying, the baby is, you're opening your eyes and it's like, oh, okay, you want to sleep? Oh, I need to do the laundry. Oh, I need to cook.
My dear, you're giving me memories of what I've got to face on the weekend. We've got to wrap. But at least we're supporting each other here. It's all about women supporting women. You know, whether you're a feminist or not. That's it from me, Juliana Olayinka, and my fantastic guests, Esther Falana and Tommy Badejoko. And guys, don't forget, Noni's now available online. So wherever you are in the world, go to www.yangatv.com to check out every single episode. Join me next time for more Noni Chat. Goodbye.